case you forgot, National Boss Appreciation Day, it's on October 16th every year since 1958. But still, no one seems to care much about it. It was Patricia Bays Horowski who registered this national holiday with the United States Chamber of Commerce. She was working for State Farm Insurance Company in Deerfield, Illinois as a secretary. Hey, look, that's what they called themselves back in 1958, including using the word boss, which I don't like anymore either. But Patricia chose October 16th because it was also her boss's birthday. That's sweet, right? She did this because she felt that young people didn't fully appreciate or understand the work, the effort, the worry, the pressure and stress a boss carries being responsible for the professional, thus personal futures of so many other people. And guess what? Young people still don't care. Sorry, Patricia. Critics say, and you know critics, right? These awful people who have awful things to say about anything nice. Critics say, why should we feel obligated to purchase gifts or acknowledge supervisors, managers, or leaders who have more power and generally have more money? Well, critics, let me see if I can help out here. A, bosses, supervisors, managers, or leaders, whatever you want to call them, are human beings too. They have a heart and feelings, and they need love just like everybody else. They need to be seen and appreciated and validated at least one dang day every 365 days. I mean, come on. Just like they should be doing for you every dang day of the work year. B, you know who else has more power and makes more money, but is also perpetually underappreciated? So we had to make a national holiday in order to get the attention of all those self-absorbed underlings for a day? It's called Mother's Day and Father's Day. Mom and dad thanklessly work their faces off to provide for and coddle the self-esteem of their kids. But one day a year, we make them stop and appreciate their mom and their dad. And just like mom and dad, they don't need your gifts. It doesn't have to cost anything. They just want a little love, some appreciation and acknowledgement, maybe even a hug. And if that weirds out your HR department these days, give your boss a loving fist bump. That'll do, followed by some nice, be it sincere, words. That's it. So to help you with a little bit of that empathy that they'd love for you to genuinely have, bosses, over the last couple of few years, they've been beaten and battered and bruised pretty brutally the last little while. I mean, just take a pause and think about it. They have led and have been responsible for other people's lives during an existential threat to all of humanity. A global pandemic forcing worldwide lockdowns and shutdowns through absurd political polarization, violent social unrest, civil protest, and a cancel culture. They have had to navigate through radical technology disruptions, broken supply chain problems, rampant inflation, and an impending recession. Meanwhile, their teams have dunked on and ghosted them during this great resignation and reshuffle. All the while, they too have been dealing with disrupted kids' schedules, school shutdowns, and taking care of elder parents and family members. But the strain of these massive challenges placed on the shoulders of leaders are often invisible, ignored, and not even considered by the people they lead. It's why being a leader can be a very lonely and isolating job. And look, it's easy to see why leaders' personal struggles get overlooked. When people face difficult situations or setbacks, it's human nature to think of only your own point of view, your problems and your needs first, and often singularly. People tend to focus on how everything affects them rather than thinking about how something might actually be affecting somebody else. People particularly ignore the pains of people who are supposed to be responsible for taking care of them. But you see, leaders can't do that. They can't think that way. Parents can't do that. They can't think that way. They have to think about others. It's the very job responsibility. But for a day, hey, come on, just a day? Instead of only concerning yourself with, how am I feeling? What do I need? Am I happy? What would make me happier? Maybe ask, how are they feeling? What do they need? Are they happy? How can I help them be happier? So I have 2 suggestions for you, just in case you might be interested. Number 1, tell your boss that you see them, that you understand their pressures, and you appreciate them. Tell them why you appreciate them. Make sure that it's personal. Let them know that you really do see them. If you don't have a boss, tell a mentor. Or tell your parents, hey, 2 days a year isn't overkill. Number 2, the best way to show your appreciation is to be of help. Figure out how to help them. They've already are holding the weight of the world on their shoulders. Just help lighten their load a little. Most everyone around them only adds to their load. Teammates and vendors and clients and partners and bankers and kids and parents and peers. Be the one person to lighten it. And don't just ask them how you can help. Just do it. I'll tell you, they'll love you forever for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't take much because most people around leaders don't really care that much. Just be genuine, actually care. And again, if only for a second of one day out of 365. And let me just say to the bosses, all of those in position of leadership, I see you. I know the tremendous burden that you carry with you, not only in the office during work hours, but I know that you carry that burden home with you too, whether you want to or not. I know that you lay awake at night with that burden still sitting on your chest. When you wake up, there it is, still sitting on your chest. You think about it in the shower, while you're driving, working out, doing chores, and walking the dogs. It even sits with you at the dinner table with your family. Whether you are appreciated by anyone else or not, just know that I see you. I appreciate you. You are the motor of the world. If you stop, it all stops. Without you, the world does not advance. It doesn't progress. It doesn't grow better. So, thank you for choosing to lead. Big hugs to you. And happy Bosses Day. So Darren Daily Community, lead the appreciation. After jotting down your thoughts in your Darren Daily Journal, tell us one thing that you appreciate most about your boss or leader or mentor or parent in the comments below. I'm sure we'd all love to read about and be inspired by your loving comments.